So these are the three biggest levers for growth in a business. Three big levers for biz growth. All right? Going up. All right? The first is going to be your market. All right? And so the reason that investors look at this stuff is because they know that if you put a great entrepreneur in a bad market, or a bad market, or a bad entrepreneur in a great market, the market will usually win. And so let me tell you a quick story about this to illustrate this point. So one of my friends, Lloyd, owned a great tech company. He started it probably a decade ago, and they grew pretty quickly, and then it sort of plateaued, and then it started to go down. And he was trying to figure this out, and he was struggling with it, and he called me up one day, and he was like, "Hey, dude, what do you think the issue is with this?" And I was like, "Dude, you're selling your software to newspapers," because that was his exclusive customer for his ad product. And despite having an amazing offer and being a great salesman, because it was a zero risk offer for them, he only just rev shared with them. Despite both of those things, he was not able to grow because he was in the newspaper market, which was shrinking by 25% every single year over 8 years that he had the business, right? He still has it to the side, but for 8 years, he was trying to figure out what was going on, and he looked at every single piece of the business except for probably the most obvious one, which is the market itself. And so what I want to introduce you with these three levers, and that's the first one, is the market, is you have to do these from the top down. All right, if you're in a horrible market, it doesn't matter how good your offer is, it doesn't matter how good your persuasive abilities are, you will not be able to outpower a bad market. And so the way I look at these levers is this going to be a plus? Is it going to be a neutral, or is it going to be a negative, right? And so as long as your market is not a negative and is either a neutral or a plus, you can move on to the second lever for business growth. All right, the second lever is your offer. All right. And what I mean by that is what you are literally giving a customer in order to transact with them. All right, this is the products and services that you offer in exchange for money, and the terms under which you offer them, and what they need to do to redeem them. All right, that is in essence what an offer is. All right, and so these are the terms, the price, etc., and what they get. Now, if you're in a normal market or a good market, if you're in a good market, it doesn't matter, right? If you were, selling toilet paper during COVID, it didn't matter what your offer was or how persuasive you were, which is the third one. You were in the right market at the right time, and you're going to make a ton of money, right? But most of us are in this market. Most of us are just in normal markets that are growing a normal amount. And the nice thing is, if you're in one of those markets, you can still make a tremendous amount of money by offering a unique offering and a good product, right? And so the offer is going to be the second thing. Now, if you have an incredible, irresistible offer, then more people will say yes, and you can make a tremendous amount of money. But again here, you can have an amazing offer, you can have a normal offer, or you can have a shitty offer, right? And as long as you do not have a shitty offer or a normal offer, you can move on to the next one, all right? Which is the third big lever, all right? Which is persuasion, all right? So some people are naturally good persuaders. They're good marketers, they're good salespeople. And the thing is that each of these is more important than the rest. All right, so it goes from the top down. So I'll give you some examples. If I were in an amazing market, it doesn't matter if my offer or persuasion abilities are good, I'll make a ton of money. If I'm in a bad market, it doesn't matter if I have good persuasion and good offering, I'm not going to make any money. And so basically, you can just move from the top down and check these off your list. And so most of us are going to be here in this normal market, right? A normal market. You serve dentists, you serve chiropractors, you serve normal people who are in pain. Those are normal markets. They're not growing, they're not shrinking, they're just normal, right? Now, from there, we move to our offer. Now, the thing is that this is typically the easiest lever on any business to grow the business, because any business, if it takes a little bit of time to go from a normal offer to an amazing offer. You can't really go from a normal market to an amazing market with your business unless you change your entire business. But with an offer, you simply can repackage the value proposition, how you charge, and the terms under which you offer your services, and you can move from having a normal offering or a subpar offering to an amazing, irresistible offer. I call them Grand Slam offers. And the reason I call them that is because Grand Slams are both very rare and very good. But the difference between baseball and business is that when you have a Grand Slam offer, you can knock the ball so far out of the park you can win for 1,000 years. And that's the difference, right? In baseball, you can only win 4 runs, no matter how good your offer is. In business, you can win for life. And so making the actual best offer is going to be the second biggest lever on your business. Now, let's assume that you've got a great offer. Now, if you have crap persuasion skills, you'll still make money. If you have normal persuasion skills, you'll make a lot of money. If you have fantastic persuasion skills, you'll make a tremendous amount of money. All right, which leads me to the next piece. So let's assume that you just have a normal offer, not an amazing offer. All right, then it takes us to our third portion here. The only way, if that is your scenario, you're in a normal market, you have a normal offer, the only way for you to be hyper successful is to develop persuasion abilities. And so that's learning how to market and sell, how to acquire customers through multiple channels, right? And so the thing is that this one is usually the most difficult to acquire, in my opinion. It takes a lot of time, takes a lot of effort, takes a lot of volume, takes a lot of practice, a lot of failure in order to get good at this, all right? And so if I'm looking at a business and I'm trying to grow it, the first thing I'm going to do is check this off, is just say, like, are we making sure that we're not in a bad market and we're at least in a normal or good market? You'll know if you're in a good market, believe me. Like I said, if you're selling toilet paper COVID-19, if you're selling hot dogs outside of a baseball stadium as soon as the game lets out, you know you're in a good market, right? But most of us are here. So as long as I'm not in a bad market, I move on to the next one. And so if I'm looking at the business, I say, okay, what is the current offering? What are we doing in exchange for money? What are we giving clients, right? What are the terms of the agreement? What's the price point? And what are they getting in exchange, all right? And so then what I will do is shift the business from here in this direction to create a grand slam offer. And the beautiful thing is this can literally take a half a day, maybe a day, right? Where you just recombine, repackage, reposition, rename the offers, change the terms under which you offer your businesses and services and products, and overnight you can take a normal business to an extraordinary business by doing this one thing, all right? And then finally, the last thing that you can do is you can develop all the skills of persuasion. So if you're looking at the entrepreneurial journey, my recommendation for most people is I start here. This is the first thing I will do. The second thing I will do is get them to focus here and on improving this skill and going from a normal salesperson or normal marketer to an exceptional salesperson marketer, because they should already be being reasonably successful because we fixed the offer first. And then move up to the top to the biggest lever and say, now that we understand how to make amazing offers, how to persuade people in masses, now let's go find a market that we know we can apply this skill set to that we think is going to crush it. So right now, if your business is not growing, it might be because you are lacking 1, 2, or all 3 of the levers that create success. And so if that, hopefully that you found that valuable. Hopefully you can think about your own business within this context. Am I in a great market, a normal market, or a shrinking market? Is my offer insanely compelling? Is it normal or is it bad? Are my persuasion abilities exceptional? Can I acquire clients at the snap of my fingers whenever I want? Do they come in kind of semi-consistently, but I can't really grow it? Or do I have no idea what I'm doing and I get people on the phone and I can never get money, right? And so if you can rate yourself on these things, then you can identify where you have opportunities for growth and then follow these steps to get to where you want to go. So hopefully that you found value in that. Hopefully that was cool in terms of framing how growth and the biggest levers that exist in business overall, and keep being awesome. And I will see you on the flip side. Bye.